Overload, when you feel overloaded. Hello, you all. I'm Diana Brianne, and I leave my camera sitting up here in the kitchen because, well, I do a lot of schoolwork, homework, college work, and as you all know, I'm back in college, and at my age, 62, and so I have a computer here in the kitchen. I have one in my office and one in the sunroom that I use for my homework. So I kind of go between all of them, and I have my camera set up so that when an idea pops into my head for a video, I just come over here, jump on, and put out the video. And so I got to thinking today about overload. You know, it's easy to take on a lot of things with good intentions, and then what happens is once we take them on, we can feel a sense of overload. They can be fun things, they can be good things, or they can be problems or challenges or difficulties, or they can even be goals. And so the thing about it is when we take on a lot, we can overload ourselves. And even sometimes what happens is, you know, problems or challenges or difficulties or other people will put things upon us. And if we accept those things, then we can go into overload. And overload is usually not a good place because, well, when we get overloaded, we tend to get stressed, we feel tired, we feel worn out. Sometimes we don't make really good decisions, and it's not a good place to be in. So what I tend to do so that I don't go into overload is I prioritize, number one, and I keep my priority level low. So that means maybe 5 priorities on my list, and that's it. I try to stay away from any more than 5. Sometimes I try to narrow it down to 3 and stay focused on those. And the other things I just don't give my focus to if they're not important or mandatory in my life or something that I really need to tend to. Sometimes things do happen and they will distract us and take us away from what we're doing for a little while, but it's important to get back and get centered. And when I feel overloaded, I go out for a run, or I go to the gym, or I just go take a bubble bath, and then I come back with a new perspective, and I'm able to more effectively deal with whatever I'm dealing with. Right now, being in college, I'm doing a tremendous amount of schoolwork, and that takes up a lot of my time. I take breaks in between, because like coming over here and doing a video is a little break, because it relaxes me, it gives me some time out, it refreshes my perspective, and then when I go back to it, I have a clearer perspective, and I do stay focused, and I keep my priorities straight in my life, and I make sure not to overload. And if I sense overload, I pull back and I start taking things off of my list, because apparently I put too much on there if I'm feeling that way. And so these are just my opinions and my views on how I live my life. I never give suggestions or advice or anything like that. I just share with you my perception of the world and how I live my life. But overload is not a good place, and I don't want to ever be there if I don't have to be. And if I am there, then I begin to take things off that don't necessarily need to be on my plate of life. And often we put stuff on and we just keep piling it on till we feel that sense of overload. And that's not the way we should do it. We should never overload our plate. We should always be aware of what we're putting on our plate and how much we're putting on our plate. Because if we do keep piling it on, go into overload, then we have to begin taking things off. And sometimes that's a lot harder to do. Whereas had we just been more selective about what we put on that plate of life, we may have been a lot better. So I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel, From My House to Yours. God bless you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.